Okay, so 4 packets down. Two absolutely massive cards, right? Two massively printed, super, super common base cards from the junk wax, post junk wax era, where they were still printing like a million copies of base cards. Uh, all extremely satisfying though. So I have been slowing down pretty much to a halt on collecting and picking up. And so maybe because I've had to be so selective, some of these cards have been really, really satisfying for me to get in hand. Like each of these 4 cards have blown me away in their own way. This is a set killer. This is meaningful for my childhood. This is meaningful because of the kind of collection that I have now. And this is just one of the key cards that I've needed for some time. And I've had to rebuild my 90s want list just because I've been knocking so many of them off that I had to reassess what the most important 90s cards out there of Bonds were. And some of the new ones added to the list were cards that had more than just Barry Bonds on them, and I had sort of written them off in my initial cut, but now for the second cut, they're very, very important. Oh, now, I talked at length about how a collector friend of mine, Rob, helped me out. He's a huge Jeter and Vlad collector. Helped me out with this card, went out of his way. And this is another example of a collector friend of mine, Kevin, part of the same amazing, close-knit 90s baseball insert Facebook group. Reached out to me out of the blue, said that he saw this card was available in some other group or some other forum, and thought of me immediately, asked me whether I would be interested. I said yes, I'll just pay whatever, is reasonable. Just grab it, and I will pay you for it. And he took his time to even negotiate the price down a little bit to get a good deal on this card. I mean, it's a beautiful card, more beautiful in person than expected, shinier, as Kevin described it, than expected. And he's a huge Robin Ventura collector, a big fan of his collection and his approach, an admirer of his cards and his attitude, and really just very flattered that he went out of his way to make sure that this card was made it into my hands. Now I don't know if this blotting is part of the design or if it's just some surface damage. I'm gonna have to look at it a little bit later. So after the opening of the packet, I went back and had a chance to clean this card as I mentioned I wanted to do. And so that residue on the surface wasn't damage and it wasn't part of the design. It was just sometimes there's a film that develops between a glossy card and the penny sleeve that it's been encased in for a long period of time. And so, as you can see, Kevin was absolutely right. This card is really, really spectacular in hand. Much better looking than I've seen in scans on places like eBay for other players. I'd never heard of this set before. This is 2003 Donruss Champions. I think it was a set released only one time in 2003. It's not part of the Donruss flagship release. And this, I was surprised to learn after doing a little bit of research, is the parallel of the base card. So this is what the base card looks like in the set. It's about 300 cards in that set. And there are 2 other tiers of parallels. This is the rarest one, the one out of 25, which is very cool. Obviously, since Bonds' jersey number is 25. But more than that, it's a beautiful card and a card from a friend who thought of me when he saw that this card was available, and that makes this card particularly meaningful to me. And it's a cherry on top that it's also beautiful and rare and pretty sought after for those people in the know. But it is a really sparkling card, and it's out of 25, and it's the first one. So thanks a lot for looking out, Kevin. It means a lot to me that you thought of me for this card, and you know that every time I see a Robin Ventura, that I'm looking out for you as well. All right, thanks, guys.